With all the recent changes and weapon balancing made to Warzone, it's tough to stay in the loop and know what the best weapons are for each new Warzone meta. Hey everyone, and welcome to Call of Duty Pro Guides, where we discuss all things COD and make sure you're ready to dominate Verdansk. My name's Scatter, and today we're discussing some of the best loadouts to use now that Season 3 has been released. Let's dive right in. Starting us off, the AK-47 has always been a disappointment, especially in Warzone. As one of the most popular and noticeable weapons in the game, you'd think it would be a main loadout to use, and before now, that wasn't the case. As of recent, with the Season 3 update made to Call of Duty, the AK-47 has been given a buff. Just to clarify, we are talking about the Cold War AK-47 and not the Modern Warfare AK-47. In recent patch notes, Raven Software let everyone know that the main change to the AK-47 was the recoil pattern. They said it was adjusted to be easier to control and to make sure it's effective at most ranges. This change has definitely helped the weapon as a whole. Before the update, I always wanted to use the AK-47, but each time I would attempt to load out with it, it didn't feel like a meta weapon. However, even though they said the recoil pattern was the only thing changed, it feels like they have done more to the weapon. Maybe it's always been this powerful, but just needed to be tweaked. Regardless of the change, try out the Cold War AK-47. For the loadout, we recommend using the GRU suppressor for the recoil control. This muzzle will also give you more bullet velocity, effective damage range, and the sound suppression is always a plus. Throw on the 18.2 VDV reinforced barrel to up your effective damage range that much more and ensure that those long-range gunfights can be finished quicker. Using the KGB skeletal stock is going to help the weapon be quick for those closer range gunfights so your strafing can stay on point, while using the Spetsnaz grip is going to make your horizontal and vertical recoil stay in check. The 45 round mag is the last attachment you'll want to throw on the weapon. Make sure you don't use the speed mag because you won't be able to get your weapon up as quick. Before we move on to the next weapon, let's talk about how you can take your gameplay to the next level. At ProGuides, we have coaches that can do just that, so use the link in the description or head over to ProGuides.com to elevate your game. The next weapon on our list is a weird one, the FARA 83. This weapon was released into the game around Season 2, which was a while ago. Since its release, the weapon hasn't even come close to touching the Warzone meta. After the Season 3 update, go ahead and level it up. This weapon has been regularly paired with the Krig 6, which we'll talk about in a minute, and has been used more like an SMG as a secondary weapon. Warzone has been odd with the dual assault rifle meta staying around for so long, but it looks like it's going to be here for a while longer. When using the FARA 83, you'll want to use the GRU suppressor as always, and the 18.7-inch Spetsnaz RPK barrel. Since this is a secondary type weapon class, use the KGB skeletal stock and pair it with the infiltrator grip. Lastly, get the Spetsnaz 50 round for the extra bullets, but make sure you're not lowering the ADS speed with the speed mag. The FARA already is a bit slower than SMGs at the moment, but its damage makes up for it. We just want to make sure it's as fast and accurate as possible. My personal preference on this gun is a little worried about it at first with the slow ADS speed, but this weapon is insane. For right now, the strafe speed is like you're on ice skates. You're moving around so fast, so we definitely recommend trying it out. The Krig 6 has always been a solid weapon in Cold War. For Warzone, it hasn't been terrible, but it wasn't a great choice. In our past video, we discussed the newest updates made for Season 3 and made to the weapon, which included increased damage multiplier to the head, neck, upper, and lower torso. Basically, the Krig has been buffed. Now, it easily holds its own within the Warzone meta. First, make sure you're running the agency suppressor and the 19.7-inch Ranger barrel. Next, grab the classic axial arms 3x scope and the field agent grip to ensure steady fire. Lastly, use the Stanag 60 round mag. If you end up liking this class, let us know in the comments down below how you like the Krig and if you think it'll continue to dominate in Verdansk. Before we hop into the last weapons, comment down below what your answer is to the question of the day. What do you think about the 1984 Verdansk map? Personally, I think it's nice to see the new locations and that the map has been changed up. I'm sure I speak for most people when I say this, but it would have been nice to see a completely new map, but the best we can do is hope for it in the future. Alright, now we're hopping into the last couple loadouts. These are all SMGs. Let's dive right in. With the release of the ppsh, everyone has flocked to it. This weapon is great for those close-up engagements and is sure to shred point blank. If you remember how the MAC-10 was, I'd say it's pretty similar to that. It doesn't shine too well at longer ranges. When you're in a house trying to take over, it will get the job done. For the attachments, you'll want to make sure you're using the GRU suppressor, 15-inch task force barrel, Spetsnaz PKM stock, Spetsnaz grip, and the 55-round drum. After playing with this weapon quite a bit, it isn't the best at long range like I said before, so do remember, try to keep this weapon close to the enemy to ensure the kill. The second SMG we're going to talk about is the classic Bullfrog. We talked about this in a recent video like we did with the Krig, but the Bullfrog is back again. This SMG is easily one of the most powerful weapons for the current Warzone meta, and it's also one of the fastest. This Bullfrog build will have your opponents standing in awe at how fast you can strafe. I'm not sure if it's as fast as the FARA for some reason, however, it is quick. It's funny to see how much this suppressor dominates, but for the build, you'll want to have the GRU suppressor. Also use the 7.4-inch task force barrel, KGB skeletal stock, which really gives you that extra strafe power, and the VDV speed grip. Now, for the last attachment, it's completely up to you on which one to use, and also depends on how comfortable you are with your ability to finish kills quickly. Ideally, you'll want to use either the 65-round mag or the serpent wrap. The controversy over the 65-round mag is that the Bullfrog already has enough ammo in the base weapon. 65 rounds will definitely help at times, but if you use the serpent wrap, you'll be getting a faster ADS speed and a faster sprint to fire time. In my opinion, the 65-round mag is most useful if you're playing quads or trios, since you'll be getting into those longer duration gunfights. However, if you're usually sticking to duos or solos, the serpent wrap might just be better for you, so you're moving fast and getting your gun up quicker than everybody else. For now, the last weapon on our list is the LC-10. This gun is still pretty new to the game and to the Warzone meta. The LC-10 just recently received a small buff and tears through opponents. For the class, use the agency silencer, 13.9-inch task force barrel, and the SAS combat stock. These three attachments will make sure that the weapon can hold up during those longer range gunfights and make sure you're moving as fast as you can while firing to keep the enemy guessing, and believe me, it does hold up in those longer range gunfights. To prevent too much recoil, use the SFOD speed grip. Not only will this keep your weapon steady, but also increase your sprinting move speed so you can get around and juke your opponents. Finally, use the Stanag 55-round mag to have the most ammo you could possibly get for the LC-10. If you end up using this class, comment down below and let us know what you think, or if you've made any changes to the weapon. I don't think you'll want to make any changes to the weapon because it is insane as is. That's going to be it for today's video. If you want to stay in the loop with all things COD, hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss out on new features added to the game. Be sure to comment down below if you do have any suggestions on Call of Duty topics you'd like us to break down. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.